Welcome back. This is Irish Vampire, and this is 7 Days to Die 11.3. This is my season 1.75 Let's Play, episode 3. And we are finally out of here. Now, one thing that they brought back, and I can't remember if I mentioned it or not, so it's going to happen again, is that there are dogs in this biome again. So that's fun. Not a big fan of keeping this out. There we go. That's the reason I brought it up in the first place. I heard a dog over my head last night while I was waiting in the hole for the new day to come out. So I thought I'd let you know. The dogs aren't super common in this biome, unlike the industrial biome. However, they are common enough that when you're coming through here, you'll want a weapon out that can take on a dog in a bad situation. Now, I can see what looks to be one of the bigger gas stations down here. And let's get right back to it, I guess. I did clear out a couple of inventory spaces while I was waiting in that hole in the ground. I had to eat, guys. So we're going to go around here. I'm not going to bother looting too much. I'm already full. I really don't need to pack my inventory if I can help it. But what I am going to do is I am going to check these cars. Maybe the trash cans, because why not? And if I find anything interesting, that's great. But mostly... Man, that dog's got serious dog things to do. There we go. I just wanted to get him off my case. I accidentally hit the R button there. It's a waste of a gas can, guys. But, essentially all I don't want to happen here is the zombies to hit these things while I'm too close. I just grabbed everything out of the one car because I was just reflex. It happens. It happens, guys. That's all I gotta say about that. I should be grabbing brass, but, again, not much space. I mean, I might as well. I've already got some brass in here. It doesn't take much to run over and grab it real quick. Let's see here. I guess I'll hold on to the repair tool for now. I can always throw it out if I find something better along the way. But we're going back here because these gas barrels are far more important. What'd I do? Pick it back up? Nope, I never broke that down. Okay, now gas barrels. I made the mistake of shooting back here once. Unless you know where the gas barrels are, don't do that. It's a bad idea. You will probably hit one and blow the building to hell. Which is fun. I'm not going to lie to you. It is a hoot. But not very constructive. Now we're just gonna kind of get away from this building here and kind of take a look at what we've got going on as far as directions. I got a glimpse, but I want to take another good glimpse before I make a decision. Freaking rabbit, I'm telling you guys. I'm kind of feeling this path, actually. So we are going to go past the gas station and head on, what, east? East it is. We're going that way. I do a pretty good job going around by intuition, for the most part. Like, every once in a while I'll hit a bad set, but for the most part, I enjoy myself. So that's fun. I seem pretty set to go right now, actually. Kinda wish I had some alcohol, but... And I mean, I know there's probably plenty of alcohol back at that place, but... It's just not worth it, guys. Beer has become so useless. I can't even say how useless it is. Every time I use it anymore, it feels like I gotta use it constantly to keep it in effect. And of course it fills up the thirst meter so much that by the time you need to use it again, you can't. So that's fun. A lot of people give me grief about the fact that it's used for health kits and it's used for gasoline, do it for biofuel and for the actual gas itself. But here's the thing, with the new Epic stuff, it's pretty rare that I have to use that stuff in the first place, and as long as you're not using the oil barrels to star snipe it out, like, you're probably gonna be fine. Now, if you choose to go the star snipe route, and I'm not saying anything against that because it is the most fun, I would suggest that you maybe lay off the oil barrels, because when you do need them, it becomes a problem. That's really where the thing is, guys. You could always use TNT. Now, I myself don't actually know how to make TNT. I've never bothered. It's very rare that I feel the need to blow things up besides cars, which I sometimes blow up just because I can. Don't judge me. But, yeah, so I recommend that. Did I already learn this? Yes, I did. Okay, so we'll get out of here. We are gonna run on down this hill here. Is that a dead body? No. You gotta keep an eye out for those dead bodies, guys. That's where all your bullets are at. I don't really need bullets right now. Do I even have any? Yeah, I have 7.62. But that's where all your bullets are at. Don't let that be a thing that happens. It's another plains biome, I think. No, wait. Yeah, I think it is. I don't like the way the plains biomes feel right now. They just have a kind of gross feeling to them. I don't know how to describe it, guys. It's not where the wind comes sweeping down the plain. It's more like, oh, this is awful. I live next to an airport. That's how I feel about it. Some of you got what I'm saying there, and some of you are just like, you're insane. Either way, that's how I feel about it. Take it or leave it as you will. I don't like it. So, let's jump right into what I want to talk about today while I'm on the road and nomading it out. Well, I can't really loot anything because, you know, nomad. And stamina. So, something I didn't mention last time, even though I talked about the motorbike, is the fact that they are improving the forge system. Now, some of you are going, oh yeah, I kind of heard about that a while back, but what are you talking about? They recently released, before the motorbike actually, a picture of the new steel pickaxe. Now what that tells us is that steel is the new type of metal in the game. Now, for steel to be a metal in the game, for those of you who don't know, steel is just high carbon iron. It has less impurities, it has more carbon, which is stuff like wood and oil and things of that nature, being cooked into the metal during its refining process. And it makes just a super strong version of the metal. So, what that means is there's going to be some way to smelt iron down that probably requires coal. Most often coal is the best way to get it done. And that's great. But either they're telling us that we have to use it as a fuel source, in which case that we're going to get some kind of a weird system in place that requires certain metals to burn it. Or, more likely, we're going to get a new forge. This new forge would have to have 2 slots for metal input to create an ingot. Now, that doesn't sound too great in theory, but this depends on how they implement it. If they stay with the original forge and just introduce a second furnace that for all intents and purposes you can just call a blast furnace, you can create a system where you're adding two things together. Now, this implies a lot more than you think. Currently, the only way to get brass is to kill these zombies, or loot things, like that brass radiator, because there's no copper, and there's no zinc. Now, copper and zinc are very integral parts of the game once they are added, because of that same system. Once they are added to the game, you'll be able to mix these two things together and use them as a system in the game to create brass. And I know a lot of you don't know much about that yet. When you get to a point where you're actually creating brass, you're probably making your own ammo. And that sounds great. But you don't know how great it is until you've experienced a swath of no ammo times. Now, I can officially confirm, by my own reckoning, that this is in fact the case. There's going to be a system of brass in place. I don't know if it's going to use that two-shot system that I was just talking about or not. However, I do know it's coming. And how do I know it's coming? Because there is copper in the game, guys. They're already inside the game. There is copper ore, a copper mold, and a copper ingot. Now, that leads to a whole lot of other assumptions, one of which is that it's going to play into the electricity system that they've been talking about. I wouldn't get your hopes up too high about that. Something as intricate as that is going to be insane. You'll all remember Minecraft, which is a much simpler game overall in terms of mechanics. And the Redstone update, which is essentially the electricity, was a massive undertaking. You're talking about systems in place, new mechanics, you're talking about new calculations and odds, possibly fires. I mean, it depends on how complex they're going to get with that. But copper is in fact in the game, not getting it too ahead of ourselves. And that has a lot of implications for future gameplay. As soon as I can get the zombies off of me, I will bring up the cheat menu to just show you what they are and what they look like. It's not too much different. It looks like they just remodeled the brass ingot and just added kind of a gold template for the ore system. And of course, the brass ingot mold is probably just renamed and retasked to create the copper mold. However, they are in the game, and that's pretty exciting because that has a lot of implications for future gameplay. I mean, it could bring on a whole new slew of things. This new forging system could be the beginning of a huge era for 7 Days to Die. Now, when this forging thing does drop, there's going to be so much more available to us. However, in the meantime, since I can't show you the molds and stuff for hype reasons, I want to talk about the fact that they're remodeling the sky again. They're overhauling it. And I got to see the pictures. It looks pretty fantastic. I mean, I'm not going to argue with that. But I kind of feel like they literally just did that with this update. Like, that was half of the freaking update. And so, well, it's great. And this sky is fine and all. I mean, I'm glad that it's getting some touch-up, because it does look kind of blech. Like, I really badly want them to start working on some of the systems. For example, maybe the bugs that are present. I'm sure each of us has our own little story of the many bugs we've encountered during the play of this game. I am no different. I had a friend just yesterday who experienced a massive issue with her backpack. We were fighting in the hub city, trying to get some zombie loot, and she happened to die, and her backpack disappeared with all of her stuff. It was horrible, and it shouldn't have happened. I mean, I legitimately felt bad. I spent several hours of gameplay trying to get her backpack back. But even though it shows up on the map, we can't find it anywhere. I dug down to bedrock, and I went about 30 blocks up in the air looking for it. For where it says it is not. So that's just a thing that happens. We've been having people crash. Ironically, she is one of those people who is crashing. We've been having issues with the spike blocks going missing, and I know they fixed that, but we still have issues with the spikes when you lay them down in their first level being damaged. Like, what is that about? There's just a lot of little bug fixes, and at this point the game feels kind of broken, I'm not gonna lie. Also, they're ferals. Don't get me wrong, I love the ferals. The ferals are great, but the ferals aren't much of a boss mob. All they are is a regular zombie with a massive amount of stat boosting. They, you know, they're stronger. They have more health. They take more hits to kill. But essentially, they're just every other zombie in the game. There's nothing special about them whatsoever. Their loot tables just seems to include Magnum parts and sniper parts, and mostly Magnum parts if we're being honest. That's great, but where's the boss monster that was supposed to make the game hard, you know? Moreover, he seems to only show up in cave systems and in the big 7-day hordes, which, by the way, last for an eternity. Do yourself a favor. If you end up fighting these hordes, first, take care of the dogs first. Second of all, don't become a victim of the bees, guys. This is another issue. We had an airdrop just now, but because of a bug, we can't see the airdrop, and we can't see the plane. Like, this is a problem. It's kind of game-breaking, too, because there are a lot of things in this game that you pretty much have to get an airdrop to get. I mean, you can do it the other way, but I mean, we're on day, like, 30-something in our other game, my multiplayer world that I play on, and we've found, like, 2 Enforcer magazines. No, 3. 3 Enforcer magazines. The entire time. Like, and this is not, like, random stuff. This is raiding bookstores repeatedly. There's a recipe to create bookshelves in the game. We've been hitting the ones we've made up because they do respawn. Like, endless amounts of work trying to get these books, but because of the rarity table and just the sheer, even on that rarity table itself, how common these books are, like, it's been a major problem. I don't know what else to say about it. It's something they need to fix. It is a broken system right now. Again, I don't really have a problem with it. I mean, I understand the game is in alpha. You're not going to get everything perfect on the first try. You know, I can wait. It's not a big thing. But when these things become a massive detriment to your gameplay, like, at what point do you call it what it is and start trying to fix that, you know? Anyway, back to the game. We found ourselves a beautiful little place here. I'm dropping the hunting rifle parts. Those of you who don't know my proclivities, I am not very partial to the hunting rifle. I mean, I'll use it if I don't have anything else, but it's kind of pointless. We are in a poppin' pills, if you couldn't figure that out for your own. Now, I have to find something else to throw away. And there are a few issues with that. But the biggest one being that I really, really, really need this health kit. Especially as I go through and find more things for it. Now, I want to keep grain alcohol, that's just something I need. You know what? This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take these short iron pipes, and I'm going to craft them down, and I'm going to stick them up here, and repair my fire axe, because I am about to need those. Desperately. So I will go like that. Somewhere along the way I picked up the hunting rifle part again. Yes, please. All the grain alcohols. I don't remember what exactly it was that I needed to keep that space open for, but I remember there was something. Did I pick it back up again already? Yeah. I'll just drop it when I find whatever. For those of you saying, don't pick up the vitamins, they're kind of useless. You're absolutely right, they are. However, what they are useful for is when you get into a bad situation, you can take those to bump your wellness. And that's pretty great, guys. So, we're just going to continue trying to raid this. Yep. No, they broke it. Wood bag, shopping cart. Actually, I should take that soup. I can probably get away with just eating the soup now. Just determined to take that thing, huh? You can hear the zombies all in a tizzy about me. Alright, we will raid the rest of this. Oh, more painkillers. We can always use painkillers, guys. Painkillers aren't the best thing in the world by any stretch of the imagination, but what they are good for is when you've been hit a few times and you're looking to just kind of take advantage of the fact that you have a second to breathe. They are real great for helping you breathe. You take those things, you regain some of the health that you need, and jump back on the list. Ooh, yes please. No. I will gladly take that health kit. Empty cabinets. Ooh, water. I'll take that. And we'll go over here and see what there is to have. Sure, why not? Ammunition book. I already know it. So let's get out of here, I guess. I don't really have a pickaxe, so. Alright, we'll get out of here. and head over to whatever that is. I'm hoping it's either a shotgun messiah or a working stiffs. And I should probably consider bedding down here for the night rather than running and seeing if it works out for me. It is a born a noble, which is unfortunate, but what the heck. There's a fat man in here who wishes to say hello. So we'll say hi. I'm not really that worried about it. I think I'd rather worry about getting out of here. I know there's lots of books in there that I could have that are fantastic, but I'd rather actually get away with my life. Which, if you get the opportunity, and you probably won't, I certainly won't, but if you see these houses, run back to the second window, break it, you can see there's a gun safe right there that you can get to pretty easy. So if you get the opportunity, do that. Oh, right. Yes, that's what I needed the second spot for, guys. I wanted to see if I could get my hands on enough short iron pipes that I could create myself a grill. Here's the thing. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to make it back in here and have a decent amount of time to do this. But I am going to throw away these sticks and we're going to try. Now there's several things I could be doing right now, but most of them unfortunately involve me having to try to set up camp here for a little while. And I'm worried that once I do that, I won't ever be encouraged to leave again. Yeah, I know, I tried, and I failed. Alright, well, that happened. You know what, though? We need the space. Are there no more rocks in here? Like, I know there's these little things, but... So we'll go ahead and drink this. I mean, technically, to do it, I have to have this thing out anyways. Not the place I really want to be caught for this. But I need these short iron pipes, guys. And of all the places I could settle down, I really don't want it to be a plain. Like, I cannot fully explain to you how much I really don't want it to be a plains biome that I end up inside. Oh, this is gonna suck. I thought there was a zombie right there when I turned around. But that is apparently not a thing that's happening. That went surprisingly well. I am now extremely suspicious. Okay. Well, we'll go ahead and we'll keep raiding these, I think. I don't plan on staying here, so it doesn't matter if these places get destroyed. So I think I'm just going to live on the poppin' pills for the night. So... do this. And take what we can. Which hopefully was stones. It was. Thank you. There we go. Get up on top here. These buildings are great, guys. They're great for many reasons. But the largest one, the most important in and of itself, the fact that it's very easy to make yourself pretty safe up here. I'm going to put this door down for a moment and create a storage chest, which I know I don't want to do. So we'll go ahead and we'll start dumping stuff in there for now. For the temporary future, this is where I live. I'm not going to mess around. I'll go ahead and take those with me. So we need 2 more, guys. 2 more. And then we can make the grill, which is fantastical. By the way, speaking of things I wish we could get in the game, shift clicking into the chests. Still a priority, guys. Think about it, Fun Pimps. That's all I'm telling you. Alright, stick that up there. We'll stick these randomly in here. Stick those up there, that down here. And I think that's how I'm going to organize for right now. Alright, so before I head back down the... I'd rather use my daylight to actually loot things. So I'm just going to go back down and do it. And right before nightfall comes, when I go up there for the night, I will show you guys the copper stuff. It's on my list, guys. It's on my list. So... the final part of things that I was meaning to mention was when they talked about improving the sky. One of the things they also talked about was making your daytimes adjustable. So if you want your daytime to start at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock or whatever, you can do that. It's a feature they're considering adding to the game as of right now. Actually, as of right now, they confirmed it. It's happening, but anyone who's played this game long enough knows that doesn't necessarily mean anything at all. So, that's pretty cool. If you hit both the control key and the shift key together, you do a nice little weird jump thing, and you can get in and out of these buildings a lot easier. Still doesn't seem to work, at least for me, on those weird sideways plank thingies, but I've heard reports that that's not the case. Dang, all I want to do is kill you, piggy. I mean, I'll run you down and auger you to death if I have to. But, oh man. Alright, fine. We'll do this the hard way. Alright, since I have time, the only thing I don't want is the bone. Nurse, give me your things. I mean, hell, I'll take the venison too. Again, it's reflex, guys. Where'd the deer go? Now, in an ideal world, I'd find some more short iron pipes before I committed to anything else. However, this is not an ideal world. It's 7 days to die. Your choices are usually bad or worse. It's 17:30, so I'm gonna start making my way home. Picking up some rocks and stuff on the way. You know what else I would love to do? I would love to destroy this tree. And then turn it into planks. And put like 4 planks in here. This is not actually what I was meaning to say when I started that sentence. But I saw the deer over here. And I'm wondering if we can get a hold of him. Well, I got him twice. I'm gonna hope for one last hit. Because if I don't, I'm probably just not gonna get him. Well, there we go. That's much better. Now we're gonna have venison, guys. Look at that. Alright, so the last thing we gotta do is make it home before they start running. Not a terribly difficult task. I can see the building. Maybe tomorrow morning we will raid this police station and just generally loot up the town. Hit up that bookstore more thoroughly. Being as I will have space to actually consider doing it. Not the best thing to do right before nightfall, but what the hell. Let me out. I mean, there's lots of stuff I'd love to do here. It's a fairly nice town, all things considered. But, right now, I'm more concerned with just surviving. And to be perfectly honest, I kinda like to, find a place next to a desert before I settle down. I know that probably won't happen, but it's a thing I'm hoping for. So we'll get these off of us, so we stop smelling. And then, I will hit you. Now, again, I only really have the cheat menu up because I'm going to show you guys this thing, and I only have it accessible in the game in case weird stuff happens and I gotta fly my way out. I've heard of people getting like stuck between curtains and the metal thingies on the outside of the window, you know? And that's just not something I want to happen, so... Copper. So you can see here, we've got a copper ore. I don't know if it's actually in the ground yet, or if it's a block they've created to be in the ground. And I'm not going to place it in the game, because I'm not going to cheat. They've got the copper ingots, which to me look exactly like the brass ingots. Hold on. I will show you. Ingot. To me, it's just a slightly retextured brass ingot. Like, it's literally the same thing. And you can see over here, we have the brass ingot mold, and then we have the copper ingot mold. It looks like they just made the yellows a little bit more red as well. To me, anyway. To me. Oop. I think the tungsten should be a tad more blue, but who am I to judge, I guess? But you can see they've already added copper to the game. Now that would only be significant if they had added zinc as well, but I don't see zinc. However, I can make the guesstimated assumption it's coming, guys. So that will be a nice little addition to the game, in my opinion, when they add that in and we can enjoy that fully. Yeah, no zombie, whatever. So we're gonna eat this food up real quick. It doesn't matter when you eat it, just so long as you're getting the full point system for it. I'm going to go ahead and break these down. Then I'm gonna get in this chest over here. And I'm going to get the rest of these pipes. And I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Boom. Cooking grill, guys. And for the first time ever, we can cook bacon and eggs and things of that nature. Also, you know, it's kind of creepy. Well, let's start, guys. Turn our candlesticks into brass. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run over here. I don't think I actually have eggs, so that makes the whole exercise kind of pointless as it relates to that. However, And this is going to start a whole lot of commotion, probably. What I can do is make venison. It's not much, but it's a start. We're probably going to get spider zombies from all of this activity. But, you know, whatever. Go ahead and make some arrows in case of a bad situation. And I'm actually going to go ahead and stop the video here, so enjoy that. I'm going to set up for the morning and continue playing through and set up episode 4. So thanks for joining me for episode 3, guys, of my season 1.75 series. This is 7 Days to Die, and Irish Vampire has still not died. Boom shakalaka. Have a good night, guys. I'm out.